Hello and welcome. This is Rooflemonger, my friends. We are back with the weekly King of Fighters 15 character trailer. We took a hiatus for a week, but we're back, and we have Chris. And with Chris, we form Team Orochi CYS. And as always, when these trailers come out, not only am I going to break down the trailer, but I want to let you know a little bit about Chris. So before we get to the proper breakdown of the trailer, let's talk about him. So Chris is a Swedish teenager who is also part of a pop rock band. That band? Well, it's CYS, Chris, Yashiro, and Shermie. Yashiro and Shermie have already gotten their own trailers, and now, hey, well, the band's back together, right? So they just do their own thing. They're good friends, and they like playing their music. Until one day, the dastardly Iori Yagami of King of Fighters fame turns out he has his own band too, and he stole their gig. So if you're in a band and you lost your gig to someone else, what is the natural response? Well, the natural response, obviously, is join the worldwide fighting martial arts tournament specifically to find the guy who stole your gig and kick his ass. So CYS finds the American sports team, steals their invitation, and then boom, they are in the King of Fighters to effectively engage in the battle of the bands, but with your fists. But the big thing here is, turns out maybe Team CYS wasn't fully on the level. Turns out maybe they got another plan a-brewing. Because you see, CYS isn't just your run-of-the-mill average Swedish, French, Japanese pop rock band. Yep, you guessed it. Instead of just being regular pop band, they are in fact death cultists looking to resurrect a fallen god to genocide the human race. The whole band stuff, not exactly a cover. They are a legitimate band. They take pride in it. However, they are part of an endlessly resurrecting throughout the ages group called the Hekeshu, of which Chris, Yashiro, and Shermie are three of the four heavenly kings of the Orochi. Well, who's the fourth guy then? The fourth guy was Gonitz, and he set a lot of the plot of the Orochi saga in motion, but he died at the end of King of Fighters 96. Although, fair warning, Gonitz specifically is alive as of the time of King of Fighters 15 due to the fact Verse is resurrecting all the dead characters. Alright, so we're an evil death cult, we want to bring back a dead god, and we want to genocide the human race. Sure, easy enough goals to accomplish, and they do accomplish it by the end of the King of Fighters 97. They succeed in their goals, and Orochi is resurrected. Chris himself, by the way, is the vessel of Orochi. He becomes Orochi, and Yashiro and Shermie take their own lives to make sure he has enough power to do so. But the problem is when you're an end boss and you're up against, the hero, Kyo Kusanagi, well, you lose and the whole plot was for nothing. Spanning 4 games, in the end, Kyo and Iori and Shizuru, they put Orochi back in the dirt, and then, well, Team CYS, they're also in the dirt. However, they're back thanks to King of Fighters 15 bringing back the dead, and who knows what new shenanigans they're going to be bringing about. So that all said, now let's talk about some of Chris's traditional gameplay. If I had to sum it up, I would say Chris is a tricky rushdown character. Chris has a lot of command normals, which is very helpful. As I stressed many times in these videos, having a lot of command normals is very important in KOF. A non-traditional command grab where he flips over, grabs you, and is on the other side. Yeah, he can get some strikes depending on the situation. Chris does indeed moonwalk when he walks backwards. Also very important for gameplay, just so you know. He has stuff like a more traditional uppercut style of move. The scramble dash, which lets him just basically become somewhat intangible, pass through people, good for mobility. The shooting dancer series, which lets you just get weird, like you can go for lows, overheads, all that kind of stuff. It just allows for a lot of weird stuff, a lot of weird pressure. He's got dive kicks. You like dive kicks? Well, then look no further than Chris. Also, specifically for Chris, his allows for follow-ups as well. And of course, various super moves, all that kind of fun stuff. Like the other CYS members, he has an Orochi form, and for Chris, specifically in older games, he can turn into that form mid-match. and then gain all sorts of new fun Orochi style powers. Lots of purple flames everywhere. Chris can even turn into Orochi while in this form. So Chris can turn into Orochi, Chris can turn into Orochi. Now, none of the Orochi versions are confirmed yet, but just so you know if we get to that in the future. So now to the trailer breakdown, and first thing, man, this is an amazingly well textured floor. So we get a whole new stage, so I'm assuming this is the Orochi team stage, as we have a music motif here, we have the band in the background, and of course, they are a band. For the Orochi team setup here, nice little burst of purple energy, that is the Orochi style of energy, and the CYS logo. Going into the trailer proper here, so Chris, he's the only one of the Orochi team that does not get a new look, but whatever, I guess it works for him. And we see him just pondering the world at large, I suppose. So starting off with the usual barrage of normals. First we have stand heavy kick, forward light kick, and jump CD. CD is both heavy attacks together. So the heavy kick's kind of whatever, but the other two, the forward light kick and the jump CD, they're both very big deals. The forward light kick specifically here, this is a command normal that's an overhead, and traditionally this move has a ridiculous amount of range. Like you can use it as a poke, an overhead poke. And of course, being command normal, very important for combo structure, all that fun stuff. And jump CD traditionally is an ultra ignorant move. Like you can just spam this all day long. It's excellent air to ground, it's excellent air to air, the hitbox on it is just absurd. Like you can just do it over and over and over and you'll get pretty good results with it. So yeah, abuse it. Next up here we have standing CD, that is a wall splat. We have his forward throw, this guy right here, and he just kind of gives you the boot to the face. And we have his backward throw, gives you the old alley-oop. We get two EX moves next up here. So EX dive kick and EX shooting dancer thrust. So the EX dive kick, I'm assuming they'll make this the combo okay state because Chris definitely recovers before Kyo hits the ground here. And for EX shooting dancer thrust, I guess that's like a full screen low now. You see the elbow part of it. It's normally elbow and then whatever the other part's going to be, low punch, overhead kick, all that kind of stuff. So you see the initial startup of the elbow and then he just goes full screen into the low. So it definitely seems like something that can catch people sleeping. Next is potentially his taunt right here, and then more normals. Standing far heavy punch, yes, it's 2 hits. We have a jump heavy kick and then into a close heavy punch. And close heavy punch into his down forward light kick command normal slide. Here we see close heavy kick into EX direction change. That is his wonky command grab. And then we get a follow up which knocks Mitenkun away. Now normally far heavy kick would never knock you away, but I'm assuming now because it's off the command grab you get one guaranteed follow up hit and that will knock them back. Otherwise maybe that's just part of the move now and just built in, I guess. Also to note, the EX, well, he combos into it. Normally that move is way too slow to combo into, so I guess the EX gives him the ability to combo right into it. Chris has never been in a game where you can EX a move, so I think he's going to be gaining a lot in the transition. Next we see close heavy punch into EX shooting dancer step. This is the overhead version normally, but it's part of a combo, so no overhead. And the one thing here is the part where he goes upwards now hits. Never used to hit before, and in fact it hits in a very specific way, a way I personally find a lot in common with. So good on ya, Chris, you did well. Here we see Chris just messing around with Mitenkun, doing his scramble dashes, light kick, heavy kick, and EX versions of the move. This part of the trailer just letting us know, hey, dramatic intros are back. So character specific interactions before the beginning of a fight. I personally love little details like these in fighting games, so I'm happy they're bringing them back in a big way. King of Fighters 14 really didn't have too many, sadly. So now on to some combos. This one right here I know doesn't seem like much, but it's actually kind of important. So this is crouch light kick into the low version of the shooting dancer thrust, the kind of high-low fake-out move. Now, in older games like King of Fighters 2002, this move was too slow to ever combo into something like a light. You could do it off heavies, but never lights. So already an interesting change going forward. More interesting stuff combo-wise right here. So we start off with close heavy punch, EX shooting star, the overhead version, And then, as we recover in the air, go for an EX dive kick, and as we land, we get another shooting star, and this is like an old version of the move from like KOF 97, and since got like replaced in later revisions of later games. So, very interesting. Chris, potentially a meter-hungry character? I guess we'll have to wait and see. So this next one here is just a fun little setup here, very gimmicky. So I get my normals blocked, so I'm going to go into Scramble Dash to get past you. You're going to try to punish it, and then I go for the direction change grab and hit you on the other side. We see a dramatic intro with Shermie here, and now Crouch Heavy Punch, Forward and Light Punch, the old/new Shooting Dancer move into a level 1 Twisted Drive Super. It's like multiple uppercuts into the kick finisher. Here is a level 2 Chain Slide Touch Super, so multiple clones hitting you over and over and over. Here we see the level 2 Twisted Drive, so the uppercut/flash kick, land and repeat. And our big end of trailer go crazy. So close heavy punch, forward light punch, command normal, low hitting Shooting Dancer into a level 1 cancel Slide Touch Super, and then the Slide Touch Super is going to be level 2 canceled into level 2 Twisted Drive. And at this point here, I'm not sure if it's going to be a cancel or recovery, but right as he lands the second time here for Chris, then we go into our level 3 Climax Super. And Chris just goes berserk on you, ending with a big axe kick. And that is the King of Fighters 15 Chris trailer. And with all that said, looks like Chris will be retaining his classic tricky and fast ways here, and perhaps with a little bit of a new flavor to it. And of course now we have our rounded out Orochi team. Chris, Yashiro, and Shermie. So if you want faster style gameplay, there's Chris. If you want the heavy striker, there's Yashiro. And if you want the grappler, there is Shermie. Now, we have more teams to be put together in the future. The women's team is not fully completed yet. We don't know how that's going to turn out. It's probably going to be Mai and King and somebody else, but hey, who knows? We are back to our weekly schedule, so look forward to more breakdowns each successive week as we keep going forward in the long road to the King of Fighters 15 launch. When will we finally get a release date? Maybe EVO, that's what I'm thinking, but hey, that's just me guessing. Still a lot more teams to be revealed yet. We still have K-Dash, they haven't shown him yet at all. We still have Leona, and more than likely the Ikari Warriors with her, haven't shown her at all. And of course, a lot of characters just in general, because this game is more than likely launching with 50 plus characters. And I just want to say, the stage looks great, Chris looks great. Every new trailer, the game just looks better and better. Like, I'm just really looking forward to everything. Who will the next character be? Well, I'm not sure. It's anyone's guess, I guess. But next week, this time in Japan, is Children's Day. And then, well, then we got to think about a very uncomfortable and evil force.
What do I do, Lord? Destroy the child. Corrupt them all. This is their plan, people. These are demons.
Hopefully we will be spared Bao's evil. That all said, friends, that's the end of this video. So thank you very much for watching. Hope this video has found you well. Go out and play some King of Fighters.